Hello everyone, welcome to Knitting with Sherri. I'm going to show you how to slip stitches today. Slip stitches are stitches that are not worked. So I'm going to show you slip as to knit first and then slip as to purl. We're going to alternate down. So let's go ahead. Keep your working yarn in the back because we're knitting the first one. We're going to slip as to knit. So what that means is you put your right needle in as to knit. Like you're going to knit the stitch, but you're not going to knit the stitch. You're just going to slip it from the left to the right needle. Then you're going to purl a stitch. Purl, slip as to purl. Put your right needle in as to purl, slip it off onto the right needle. Slip as to knit. You go in on the left side as to knit, and you slip it off onto the right needle. Slip it as to purl. Slip it off the left needle to the right needle. Slip it as to knit. You go in on the knit as to knit it. Slip it off the left to the right. Slip as to purl. Slip it off. Slip as to knit. And slip it off. So you're going to use the slip as to purl. That's the stitch you will always use. So don't let this confuse you. Knit one, purl one. You're basically, when this is going to be used, you're going to always use slip as to purl. Now here's the exception. The exception is when you are going to decrease. If you're knit decreasing or purl decreasing, you're going to slip as to knit. And the only other exception would be is if the instructions in your book state otherwise. So you will always slip as to purl unless you're decreasing or your instructions state otherwise. So now I'm going to show you on the slip as to purl. There's two uses for that, and it concerns this working yarn here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to knit this first stitch. And the next one, I'm going to keep my working yarn to the back because I don't want it to show on the right side of my work up here. And so when I slip as to purl, I want to make sure that's in the back. So I'm going to slip as to purl, I'm going to stitch. Now I'm going to keep my working yarn in the back because I'm going to continue working. So I'm going to just do another knit stitch. Okay. So as you can see, there is no horizontal line up here showing my working yarn. Okay, it's still in the back. So now I'm going to show you what it looks like when it does show up. So you're going to take your working yarn to the front of your work. You're going to go ahead and slip as to purl the stitch. And now you're going to take your yarn to the back and you're going to knit the next stitch. Okay. Alright, so now you can see here, there's this yarn right here that goes across, and that is the strand or yarn I was speaking of, that horizontal line, and it's your working yarn and it's showing up in the front of your work. So unless your instructions state that that's what you're going to do, you may not choose to do that, and so you want to make sure that your working yarn is in the back and not in the front, okay? So I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. And if you have any comments, you can put those in the comment box. And I'll get back with you. And I hope you enjoyed it.